Bam. We're only going to be here for 7 minutes and 55 seconds again. Did you notice that the Facebook cut us off after 7 minutes last week? The upload.
I saw that.
I figured we said something wrong. I figured I said something wrong because I was on one, I guess, last week. Half delirious.
So did it just only do the 7 minutes, or was there a live podcast later? Because I was looking for the whole thing and I couldn't find it.
No, and I thought about posting it, but Facebook is Facebook, so who cares? It's not real. I didn't even waste my time with it. It fully loaded up onto the YouTube, and
oh, okay.
That's where we like to be.
Yeah, so go watch it on YouTube.
But anyways, today's version of Weird Art will never be replaced by artificial intelligence. Will not be shown today to bring you this epic podcast.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you. Music Lovers Only.
Hey, what's that?
What is up, everybody? How are you doing?
Oh, doing all right. Just cut the grass, took an allergy pill. I will be asleep in 45 minutes.
Yeah, and like I was saying, no mo May. That is something that I've seen all over the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
That the bees are, we got to save the bees, man.
Yeah, we need bees for honey, and so that you can go, ah!
The bees killed that one freaking kid on
my girl.
So
I don't know. I find it very, I guess not hard to believe that the bees are struggling, but I guess they are. If you look at Facebook, it is all over my feed. But I started watching the
I don't think I've seen it, but
well, like I said, I started watching like the bee rescues, the hives. This gal comes in and she doesn't have any. She's like the bee whisperer,
Mm-hmm.
and so she removes these colonies. Takes them back to her, back to her place where she is actively saving the bees.
Oh.
But they say that if you don't mow and take care of your garden, wait till after May to take care of your garden, because there is like ladybugs. They like live in the hollow, their larvae live in the hollow branches.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the lightning bugs or fireflies or wherever you're from, whatever you call them.
Mm-hmm.
Their larva is in the ground. So when you treat it with the weed killer, it kills them. And I've never done weed killer, but I'm gonna mow. Especially I could have let it rock. It didn't need mow today, but being Mother's Day, I was taking care of some Joshy do lists for Mom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I did go to Lowe's and I bought 2 bee-friendly flowers to put on the back porch. So it's a balance. It's a balance. My head wobbles. But yes, we are going to talk
today, by the way. So I didn't do anything for the bees today. Bad or good.
Bad or good. It
was didn't do shit for them. I just spent my second week buying a car.
Second week?
Well, yeah, the one for me last week and one for my daughter all day today. So,
oh god, what hell?
I'm carred up, dog.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work buying a car. So much.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I keep my car so long, because I don't like car shopping.
What's up, Stevie? Heading to the YouTube. That's the better place to watch us, anyhow.
YouTube.
Whoa, but yeah, we're gonna talk. Post Beatles Fab Four, and again, this was a tough list, and I tried to get all. I got all the Beatles on there.
Yeah,
even Ringo and Paul. Even though, like I said, I love the Wings stuff, but more of a sentimental. It's Dad loved it, and we listened to it a lot. And right. I'm not going to mention any of the songs yet because we're not in the list, but it was fun. It was good.
Yeah. I don't think I got one Wings song. I don't believe so.
I had a song on my honorable mention close, but just in case, I doubt it's on anybody's list. It's my number 10. So,
Oh yeah. I got 12. I was like, man, these are kind of slim pickings.
I didn't get quite as many. I mean,
I'm just afraid in case. Yeah, I mean, I had probably 3 that could easily be on all 3 of your guys' lists.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I mean, maybe So
we'll see. We'll see.
I got plenty.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to do our question, or do we want to do the stay in music first? What do we want to do, guys?
I say we could go with the question.
Go with the question. All right. Well, mine's kind of got a story. Something happened this week.
What happened?
Me and the kid were helping a friend, and his kid and my kid kind of got into it, and so she was upset, so we left. And on the way home, you know that Dairy Queen on George Washington Boulevard in Lincoln?
I love that Dairy Queen.
Oh my God, it's still there.
Yeah, I love that Dairy Queen. So we always go by it, leaving his house, but it's always late or I'm not in the mood. And I was like, okay, well, she's upset, and we'll stop and get some ice cream. So we pull in there. Mm-hmm. We're standing in line. There's a couple with the baby ahead of us.
Aww.
And then this kid from the apartment across the street, they were playing water balloons, but he comes walking up to my car. And like I said, mind you, this is a brand, not brand new, but it's new to me car.
Mm-hmm.
And he's walking up, he's got a water balloon, and he's, doing this. And then he walks up to me and he goes, "What would you do if I threw this water balloon at this car?"
I know what I would do.
And I go, "Please don't." I'm being nice. I'm like, "Please don't." He goes, "Would you try to take me down?" Okay, again, this is a middle school kid.
Mm.
My daughter probably would have whooped his ass, but I'm not going to put my daughter in that position. But I'm like, "Please don't." And the guy in front of me, he said, just get out of here, dude. And so I assume at that point that they'd been harassing these people too. The guy in the Dairy Queen handed me the ice cream. He looked kind of sketched out.
Mm.
And so kid ran off, went over there. There's grown folks over there. Then all of the kids playing in the apartment complex. But I had a feeling this wasn't the end. So we go to leave, pull out, pull right in front of him. And then we get stopped by the light. And then here he comes running down the sidewalk, and he's, taunting and, doing this. And so he waits till we leave, and then he chucks it. It was not a water balloon. It was a balloon filled with a liquid. I don't know what it was, but It didn't even pop. It hit the window. Boom. I thought it was going to break the window. But, I mean, I don't know if I would have not, I don't know if I'd have just let it go. If my daughter wasn't in the car, I probably would have been chasing the little kid down the street and whooping his, not whooping his ass, but whooping his butt. And then I would have definitely gotten all kinds of trouble, went to jail and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is not worth it. But what would you guys do?
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. As a black mother.
After the fact, I thought about recording it and then posting it, posting it on social medias. Someone needs to show this, find this kid's mom and show him what he's doing. But then I would have gotten in trouble too for, something. I would have gotten trouble no matter what I would have done. So I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. I feel like in that situation, I really just would have went the fuck off, because I don't play with children at all. And I love my kids, but like, and any children, and they're our future and shit or whatever. But if you come up to my car and start some shit, you're going to get some shit. I don't have to put my hands on you. I don't have to touch you. I don't have to do any of that. And I'll go find your parents, and we'll see how that goes. Because no.
Well, there were grown folks watching this. I don't know if it was his parents, and I don't know if he was being egged on by them either. But I don't know. I'm just like, I would have never done that as a kid. I mean, I'd done some dumb shit, but I would have never. I mean, one, he didn't know me. I mean, I could have just murdered 13 kids, Come on, could have. I didn't. But he doesn't know that,
I'm glad you clarified that.
I didn't. I mean, no.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've had people do stuff to a fairly new vehicle, and I've kind of, it just depends on the day, man. I'll threaten you a bunch of different ways. I might wait till another day and find out where you sleep and come back and visit you.
Yeah.
Oh, it just depends on the day, honestly. I might even just roll on one day, So don't try it. If that would be my advice. No.
That's the advice I gave, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like it's all peace and love until
Until it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like
Until you wake up at night and there's some weird old dude over the top. No. And again, nothing sexual. No.
Oh yeah. I mean, I played out thousands of scenarios, and I'm like, none of them. I mean, I'm going to jail on all of them.
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy on all of them. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends, man. New cars are expensive, and I'm poor, so
Yeah.
I don't know how that card plays with the police, but
Mhm. I mean, they'll understand to an extent. Like if you have to
depends
go
what
find
car
his
it is
leg
and
or
if they
something.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, what popular TV show do you refuse to watch?
Ooh. Right now, Game of Thrones for me. I mean, which I don't know if it's still popular, but
Well, I would consider that definitely a top whatever. That was mine, so I'll come up with another one. So that's okay.
Sorry. Well, I did not watch Dexter for a long time, but I finally watched it. Same with Breaking Bad. Waited till it wasn't what everybody was talking about, and I loved them both. But I don't know. I mean,
I haven't seen all of Breaking Bad. That's my admit, but I do like it. I just haven't got. I've had enough shows that I don't do a lot of binge shows, and when I do, it's whatever. It just hasn't been that yet.
Yeah.
I need to finish. Better Call Saul first, and then do that since it's a prequel thing, and I'll do it in reverse order the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, both are good.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, and you really don't have to watch it in reverse.
No, I know. I'm joking. I've
okay.
quite a bit of both of them, so it wouldn't matter either way. So, what about you, Sontia?
I'm just keeping up with the Kardashians. I haven't watched one episode of that ever. Like I know who the Kardashians are, and that's as far as I went.
I've never seeked them out or anything, but my wife watched them for a little bit. I don't know why she watches some of that stuff. I mean, for whatever, it's like the same reason I watch TMZ or something every once in a while. I like the train wreck effect.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Occasionally that would be the only reason to when I watched, and that was early on. Once it just became scripted train wreck effect, then it just wasn't near as good anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, just full transparency. I watched some of Jersey Shore just to watch somebody named Snooki do anything.
Yeah. Well, the guy that worked with me at the time looked exactly like Ronnie from Jersey Shore. So him and his wife used to watch it, and I always made fun of him. So I was not a faithful, but I've seen still probably 10 or 15 episodes of Jersey Shore, unfortunately.
It's about 10 or 15 more than I've ever watched. I mean,
you just need
I never got into like really Road World or Road Rules or whatever any of them went, or Real World or none of them very much. But I maybe watched one season of Real World, and that was only because Chappelle Show did that parody of it. And then for some reason, all of a sudden I started watching it, kept thinking it was going to be the parody and he was going to show up. And I'm like, man, I'm 8 episodes in and Chappelle hasn't came in and messed with nobody. I think this is the real. I really got to stop smoking. And
Oh my goodness. Yeah. When that came, it was a new concept, really. Just the reality TV when it started on MTV with the Real World Road Rules sort of situation. And then it just kind of took off and took a life of its own.
Yeah, I'd say right now my other one then would be Yellowstone. I haven't watched one single episode of Yellowstone.
Me neither.
And from everybody that does like it, it's freaking awesome, and I should watch it. I like those kind of shows, honestly. But for some reason, somebody that I don't like, I won't name their name, was posting a bunch about it when it first came out, and I'm like, I just don't think I'll ever watch it. I don't want to have much in common with that person.
You're not participating out of spite. I dig it.
It happened. Also, just because it got so popular, it's like, no, not until Always Sunny's more popular than it. Then maybe I'll watch. No.
It's definitely a good one. I've seen 2 seasons, and I mean, but honestly, I like the prequels, the 1988 or 1888,
yeah,
and then the 1923. those were way more. I mean, like the first one was Sam Elliott. It was like the Oregon Trail, and I loved that one. And then I think they're still coming back with the 1923 because I left us hanging, and all that writers strike. Yeah, that kind of slowed it down. But I think they're coming back with the second half of the 1923, which that one, both of them, amazing.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I don't even know what Yellowstone is about. I know Kevin Costner appeared or is in it, and that's about
he's a huge part of it. And then it kind of fell apart, or it's on hiatus right now because of his divorce and a bunch of other crap going on. So
he's getting divorced. What, isn't he like 89 or something like that?
No, he's actually younger than you think. I think he's only like in his 60s. We looked it up the other day for some reason. We were talking about something else, and
really. Dances with Wolves was like in the 90s or whatever else. So he had to be like in Robin Hood.
Yeah.
So he must have been in like his 20s when he was doing that then, if he's only 60.
Well, hold on. He's in his 60s. You're actually closer because he's 69. I did say he's in it. And I'm not going to say that I'm wrong. He was in his 60s.
Okay.
He is
Before we get to the next question, we do have to clarify that you were wrong last week. It was not Joe Cocker. It was definitely the Beatles.
Well, no, I said that, but I said he did a version of it. I just don't know who did the first one.
Yeah,
and I never stood on a hill on that one. I just said
you said we'd come back and correct.
Exactly.
I did the research, and
I do agree with you because
we had a few comments on the YouTube that corrected us.
Yeah.
I did not. I had already knew the answer, but I was like, sometimes I like to post things that are wrong, just because that gets more conversation. I will knowingly post it if it's wrong.
Oh, people love it when they
say it wrong. I'll just say it now, but
spelling things wrong. Sometimes I spell things wrong on purpose.
Words even spelled right down there. I don't know. No.
Sanita, what?
Yeah, it's spelled right on yours. I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell.
Isn't that a car?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so what was your question, Sontia?
Oh, well, my question was, if you were a mythological creature, which one would you be?
Oh, I'm going with the unicorn.
Okay.
Sorry, I jumped that one.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Is that a mythological creature? Is that, or is that?
Unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just one that's like not at all real.
Okay.
Like I almost said a liger, but that's actually a real thing.
Now, yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah. It wasn't real until him. They started breeding them because of that show. Yeah. Mine would probably be like a phoenix, man. Those things are badass, powerful, tough,
Yeah.
Or one of those statues that sit up on like what's that on freaking
a gargoyle?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna pick. Okay. Is a gargoyle. Just like you're sitting there and you're stoned, and then all of a sudden I'm killing everybody.
Yeah. Now that he went with the freaking unicorn, I kind of want to go with like a Pegasus, still a flying horse, but I don't got that dang little pokey thing out of there. I think I'm bigger than a unicorn. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a Pegasus beside a unicorn, but
well, I'm pretty sure nobody has, but
well, I mean, like, a real life rendering,
I mean, as much stuff that keeps coming out that's actually real, maybe, or somebody will probably make it.
Invent one.
Slicing them.
Yeah, but an eagle and a horse be badass.
I assume they were all real, but we killed them off because we mowed. We mowed in May, and now the unicorns and the Pegasus.
May madness.
Goodnight. All right, let's get into our This Day in Music, May 11th, 2011. Okay, this one kind of blew my mind. I'm not going to lie. A rare 1997 Led Zeppelin t-shirt sold on eBay for $10,000. And placed this purchase as the world's rarest and most expensive vintage t-shirt.
I don't know if that blows my mind. I think because I would say probably of icon, even though Led Zeppelin's not even up there, probably in my top 10 realistically. I would say in bands they might be, just not mine. I would say that's probably one of the most iconic concert t-shirts you could ever see.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
$10,000 really isn't a. It's a bunch, but it's
Not,
not
not in
really
this
a
real
bunch.
world. Yeah.
Maybe not for you, but all right. 1991, Roxette landed their fourth U.S. #1 single with "Joyride," which I did not remember the song. I went back and heard it, and I remembered it. But it was inspired by an interview with Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Well, no, an interview with McCartney talking about writing songs with John Lennon was like a joyride. So this was 91. So this was after. Well, at least the song was. I don't know when the interview was. I thought that was cool. Brought the Beatles in again for theirs.
The Beatles.
And then 91, or not 91, I'm getting all mixed up, getting all discombobulated. 1981, legendary, iconic Bob Marley died of cancer. They had found they'd found it under his toenail, which I thought was weird, but it spread to his body, and then he succumbed to his illness on this day in 81. Then 84, they released the Legends album, compilation album, and that became the best-selling reggae album ever. Over 20 million copies sold. Then 1974, Led Zeppelin again attended this one. I loved this one. Led Zeppelin attended an Elvis Presley show in Los Angeles. And after a shaky start to the show, Elvis stopped the band and jokingly said, "Wait a minute. Can we get it together, guys? We've got Led Zeppelin out there. Let's try to look like we know what we're doing." And then all 4 members of Zeppelin were backstage for a couple hours hanging out with Elvis, doing God knows what, talking about God knows what. And Elvis got autographs by all of them for Lisa Marie.
Aww.
And then normally that was normally I only do 4, but I had to do one more just because we are talking the Beatles. 1972, John Lennon appears on U.S. television Dick Cavett show, claiming he was under surveillance by the FBI. That's it.
Who appeared on there?
Lennon.
Now we are on the list as 2.
Oh.
It was John Lennon. Yeah, he had a phase, and I think that might have been some psychedelics. Could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he
Could
was.
be wrong.
Any kind of
back then, that was a lot of the other white stuff coming off of that stuff made you real crazy, I heard. So
yeah.
Or being on it for long periods of time.
Or he could have been under surveillance.
I'm pretty sure he probably was.
Sorry, my defenders. You know,
I mean, you can't say anything about it now.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, all right. Like I said, Coach, do you got the spinny wheel of fun?
Yeah, I've been over here. I got 3 models going of a prototype.
Ooh.
The one was too thick for the original spinner, so I'm gonna have to get a new spinner. You know, I'm working on prototypes, so just know that it is in motion, but it's slow motion. You know,
slow motion.
Yeah. We will take whatever you make, Coach.
Up. You can't see it, but now you can. It's Sontia.
Woo! Now I'm going to read my list where I thought that all you guys might have guessed it, because I go first.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. So I thought that I was going to find more. There's so many solo songs, but just kind of going through them, there weren't a whole lot that I was just like, ooh, whatever. So I went for the songs that I had liked prior first. Yeah. As the first part of the list, and then I listened to a couple more, and I found some that were just like awesome. All right, and I'm going to change my list actually now because.
Well, tell me that you weren't gonna, because now I will know what you actually took from. No, I'm joking. You could have. No.
Now I'm first. I'm free. So the first song that I had, so I had there was I was like trying to figure out what I could send out as a good night message to my friends sometimes, just because it's fun and whimsical and a cool thing to do through text message. And Paul McCartney has this song that says, "Don't say goodnight tonight." And it is, I feel like it's one of his funnest songs, and it's from the 80s. And it's just like, don't say goodnight tonight, don't say it. Like it's I love it. I love that song so much.
I don't know if I've heard it.
Oh my God, you need to hear it. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So that's my number one.
This is a good song.
Mm-hmm. My second song is going to be by George Harrison. Once again, another one from the 80s. And I remember watching MTV and this song would come on and I'd run across the house like, oh my God, I had no idea who George Harrison was. I really didn't really know who the Beatles was. I knew who the Monkees were though. Oh, I love the Monkees. Man, Peter, yes. Child. When he died, I literally cried. I was like, my husband is dead. But it's I Got My Mind Set on You.
Oh.
Yeah. Did I get your battleship?
His battleship.
Not my battleship, but
oh. But
yeah,
so
that one was the video. There's two versions of the video, which I didn't know until a minute ago.
Oh.
So I looked up, and version 2 of the video is amazing because that's like the one he's inside the pinball machine or whatever, the claw machine or I can't remember what it was, but yeah. And that was a cover from a 1961 song, James Ray. And James Ray's version is pretty phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
George just kind of modernized it with, funky bass line and the 80s kick drum,
Yeah. Yeah. He did. He did a good job.
It was good. One of my favorite songs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And then, so my next one, I'm trying to get all of them, all of the Beatles first, and then go. So, Ringo STARR, It Don't Come Easy.
No, it
You
don't.
sunk my battleship.
Ah, we need a noise for that.
That's
Wah, wah,
I might have one. Who knows?
Yeah, I was watching.
Perfect.
I love it.
I'm good at this. I'm good at this. Not like the podcasting part, but the sounds part. No.
I can push buttons.
I was watching your podcast probably a couple of days ago because it came out like what, Monday or Tuesday, something like that.
We did do a live one Tuesday.
Okay.
I don't remember how drunk was I on this one.
Typically, but but it was just like the sound effects. You guys have like one of the coolest intros too. I really like your intro.
But I worked hard on it. It's both offensive and fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Just like Casey.
So check Casey's podcast out.
Definitely.
Middle of the road. Okay, so I got Paul, I got George, I got Ringo. John. Okay, which one? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do for John Lennon. Because one, I didn't know that there was any Beatle that wrote a whole ass diss track. Like
oh, man.
All of them.
And they all had one or two. That's what I actually have. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's funny because some of the ones that you wouldn't actually know the diss until they actually later on in life pointed out exactly what some are, and then when you re-listen to the song, you're like, "Oh shit, it was there! It was there the whole time."
Well, I think one of the first Wings album, maybe the first one, the cover was a Beatle fucking another Beatle. Pardon my French.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. This one is Give Me Some Truth.
Yep.
Good song.
And I was like, this is a guy that's talking about, imagine some peace. And my favorite, no short-haired, yellow-bellied son of Trick Dickie's gonna Mother Hubbard soft soap me with just a pocket full of. Like, I was just sitting here listening to this song like, is he okay?
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I listened to it a couple of times. So you threw me through.
Just say all of them, as you really dig deep, had a little bit of an issue with Paul. Let's just all of them may have put, even though we all knew, but all of them kind of, the world thought it was a Yoko and it was Paul.
It might have been, but yeah, John Lennon had all the smoke on that one. Like he was standing on business. I was telling y'all I had to stand on business. He was standing on business that day.
Yeah.
All right. And then my last one is going to be Paul McCartney. I'm just going to go ahead and go with Paul McCartney as my last one. He has one that says "Dance Tonight" is what it is, and everybody's gonna dance the night away. And what I really like is the first time I saw it, it was commercialized on like a Target commercial or something. I didn't know it was an older song. And when I was looking it up today, I was like, "What's the name of that song about dancing tonight?" And so I go back and I watch the video where he's dancing around in the house with the ghosts, and he's just having a good time. And I was like, "Yeah, I like that. I like that." So that's going to be my last one.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I've heard that one, but I don't know.
Everybody's gonna dance the night away. It's so fun, and he's so jaunty, and he does a little thing with his feet. Does a little foot thing, like you're running on air. You know how cartoon characters will run on air.
Well, I'll definitely listen to it when I make the playlist. I was a little late making the playlist last week, but I got it up. It's up and going. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, definitely check out the playlist on any podcast you want on our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Room Green Productions.
Sweet.
Good channel, good stuff all the time.
All the time.
Every day.
We spinning again?
Spinning again. Woo! I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little happy about this one because after I did not have a very long extra tentative list of things, and I feel some of it may be on Coach's list. We'll see.
We'll see.
At least one.
Really,
At least
I've already lost one, so I'm over here adjusting my list now.
Yeah. My number 5 is Ringo's not my least favorite Beatle by any means. I like them all, even Paul. But Paul is definitely my least favorite Beatle. But I just don't get into Ringo's music very much. All like what you said, it's so easy. That one, it's been played a lot, and that was probably the first one that popped into my head.
That's
I didn't even know that was Ringo.
That is so different than a lot of everything else you find of his. That was That is so different. That's more of like a rock, like a 70s rock vibe. And a lot of the other stuff doesn't really have that pure 70s rock vibe.
Yeah. Well, I went through and I found an album that was it was called Goodnight Vienna is the album in 1974. And the song was All By Myself. And it's kind of sounds sad just by the title, All By Myself. But it's more, awesome it starts out with this like rolling piano intro and this, it's very reminiscent of the fun poppy Beatles. It's definitely, you could tell he was a Beatle because it's and there's nothing wrong with that. And then it has big horns in it and a lot of backup vocals down from the deep low to the female, accompanying Ringo. And it's a song about coming, hey, I'm all by myself and I'm good with it. I got me, is the basic meaning of it. And so that's why I chose that one. It's one I had never heard before until the other day when I'd stumbled across it looking. And so, yeah, I mean, I was like, kudos. And the whole album, I went ahead this morning, sitting on the front porch, just went ahead and listened to the whole album. And it's different than the campy stuff. I mean, it's still a little campy.
What album was it? Sorry.
Goodnight Vienna.
Okay.
It's got like a picture. The album has got a picture of him and like some weird looking robot, futuristic robot. My number 4 was a little stretch because, like I said, I've kind of, like I said, Paul just his music bothers me more than Ringo's, I think. But this one was a very weird collab. It was Rihanna, Kanye West, and Paul McCartney, 4-5 and it's a 2015 single. Paul doesn't even sing on it, which makes it really great. He's in the video being weird, and Kanye almost ruins the video for me because I don't have anything against Rihanna. I'm just not a fan and don't know a lot of her music. I mean, I like some of Kanye's music, but I don't like Kanye as a person. He's kind of just, I mean, it didn't bother me, but all the last 10 years where he's been wilding out or whatever.
I'm about 4 or 5 seconds from wilding.
Yeah. And it's just, I think all it is acoustic guitar and an organ, and then it's just Rihanna and Kanye just spitting over that. And like I said, it's like what 4 or 5 seconds to Wildin' Out, and 3 more days till Friday, and I'm like, oh, I feel that. I got to be back by Monday. Yep, I feel that. But number 3 was the George Harrison song, I've Got My Mind Set on You, which I replaced with All Things Must Pass, because that is one of my favorite George Harrisons. And again, George and John were my favorites. I could have done a list of 5 of each of them, easily. But I don't have much. I didn't have anything typed up on it, so I can't give any fun tidbits on it. My number 2 was Watching the Wheels, 1990 album, double fantasy with Yoko. And again, I can't stand anything that Yoko is on, but watching the wheels go around, the first lines, people say I'm crazy doing what I'm doing. And I'm like, I can feel that every day.
What's crazy is up until this, I didn't like any of the songs. I didn't think that he wrote about Yoko. And then if you go back and listen, like Woman and a lot of the songs he wrote about her, those are actually some of his best freaking like songs, like best writing. Because dude, like John, that's one thing I'll say about John. He was either hit or miss. Because it was either like that's what I thought about a John Lennon song. It was either really good or really bad. Like there. I don't know if there's a lot of in between with stuff that at least my personal take on his stuff. And he has a large number of good ones. He just has a lot that are just kind of like, is that really the same dude that wrote Imagine? Is that really the same dude that wrote? But I think it's the same deal. You just sometimes are putting stuff out that you like, and that don't mean that everybody's going to like it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, being artists, you got to. I mean, you
guys both know that better than anybody. You do you.
Yeah.
Because if you start doing everybody else, you ain't happy.
Yeah, that's true.
My number 1, your number 1 kind of had me puckering because I was like, she's gonna pluck it but Working Class Hero, this song, hands down.
Oh man, we got 2.
Hands down is the best song on the planet in the story. John nailed it out of the park. This is the greatest song anybody could have ever wrote. And it's like, like we were talking about, you got to do you, I mean, they're going to, you're forced to fit into what society wants. I mean, from the day we're born, you're being molded into what society wants, whether we know it or not. Funny sidetrack of something I've seen that kind of goes along with this is there was a study of trying to figure out geniuses for engineering. I can't remember. It was like, I can't remember what big, tech company or something years and years and years ago.
Shell.
So they took 5 5-year-olds and started testing them with trying to figure out, solve problems creatively. And they came back 5 years later when they were 10. Well, at first, out of them 5, it was like 80% of them were showing signs that they were geniuses at age 5. And then they came back, same 5 kids, whatever, 5 years later when they were 10. And then that number decreased to, like 50% or something. Came back another 5 years later, and that number just kept decreasing and decreasing. And what they determined is that it's the school being force-fed to walk in a straight line, single file line, and don't think out of the box, do what we tell you to do. And that kills your creativeness. So we were all geniuses at once, but
only some of us still are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me.
Bucking the system is just like getting out of the part of and I don't know if I'm just going to say too much, but like going into therapy and working on my mental health or whatever, it's just unlearning being programmed.
Yep.
That's essentially the whole thing, is you have to unlearn being programmed. And it starts early, which is where a lot of mental health issues come from. A lot of addictions, all of that just comes from being programmed early, either by your environment or the people around you. And school just programs you to be just
obedient,
be
a good worker.
Yeah, be a good
Go to
worker.
work.
Be obedient.
I don't know if yeah, but I still think that in the right environment, a parent and all that still the all of that foster the creative environment. I think that just part of every single society is structure, and you
Yeah.
find, you know, the creative and the whatever find their way through that fire or whatever. I mean, that's every society has tried to force some sort of structure.
Right.
Still had genius and creative people all through that. So
Right. I mean, you're still in a society, and you still
I'm
have
just saying, stop attacking the school. No, I'm just joking.
you still have to contribute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Well,
spin it, boom.
Save the last for last, and it's my list. Oh. All right, with 2 songs off my list, I've recouped it, and I've pulled together a top 5, and I'm gonna call it Casey's top 5.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, but you know that's gonna happen with the list like this, and I knew it would. I knew it would happen. That's why I came up with 12 songs as well, so I could really easily recap. So I had to get a Ringo Starr song in there, and mine is actually not from the band Wings, but it's the song Wings. It's actually one of the coolest videos that you can freaking watch. And when you Google it and just do Ringo Starr Wings song, it's like a, not claymation, but it's like a puppet video.
Yeah.
And it's freaking awesome. And it's Eagle. And I mean, it's a cool video. And it's, I think the actual video came out in 2012 that I watched. It's an older song though.
Okay.
That's kind of been redone and stuff. So super, super cool song, super different Ringo. Number 4, which is also a new add to the list after I had to do a change, is my George Harrison song, but it's with the Traveling Wilburys and it's Handled with Care.
Yeah.
And it's a freaking awesome song, and it has a lot of him in it. They gave him a pretty big part, and really it's kind of cool because you have Bob Dylan and Tom Petty doing like backup vocals almost through the whole song. They don't even really do they don't have the big solos in it, and you literally have 2 of the most iconic dudes in the world just doing kind of backup solos and doing the chorus. It's pretty cool. So awesome song.
The thing about the Traveling Wilburys is they were all friends long time, and they'd sit around picking and grinning. I can't remember, we talked about the Traveling Wilburys a lot on a previous one.
Yeah, we had one because they were one of my bands for I can't even remember what one that was. We did do that on, but
yeah, I can't either. But I think it
might have been some Tom Petty stuff. It might have been the Tom. I don't remember.
I don't think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, really, man? It's got, dude. You just Google it. You'll like it.
Oh, okay. I'd probably know some songs and just.
Oh, you've got to.
You will. You will. It's got it's got. Yeah. All right. Anyways, my number 3 is this was also an addition to the list with some switching around, and this is Paul McCartney's Uncle Albert and Admiral Hensley, and it was actually even John said he's like, I gotta admit it, this is a damn good song.
I thought that was Beatles though.
No, that's Paul's.
Well,
I'm pretty sure, at least on everything I looked up and read. So again, we if we're wrong, we'll correct it next week. And
he may have done a version of it after the Beatles. I mean,
yeah, I think he did. Like I said, even he just said, because I read a whole thing where I'm pretty sure. Well, again, at least I didn't see it. The video I watched didn't have none of the rest of the Beatles in it.
You could be right. I mean, I remember the song, and that's a real good song. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good song. So anyways, for now, that's my number 3. If next week I got to come up with a number 3, remember you guys already took a bunch of my songs, so I can.
Sorry.
My number 2 is another freaking Paul McCartney song, and it's Band on the Run. And I don't care if you like Paul McCartney, like him or not. That's a damn good song. That is it. And I actually, there's a lot more Paul McCartney I liked than I thought I liked. And like I said, he's still one of my favorite, even though he broke him up, all that. I truly think from everything I've read, if it has wings, or it was Wings.
So that Uncle Albert was Wings. According to Epic Gravy Films. Thank you for correcting us on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Like I said, I do believe I was right. Like I said, I don't think it was Beatles. So, anyways, but Band on the Run, great song, and there was a lot of McCartney that really was good. If you gave him a chance, so you don't blame him. No,
I love Jet. I love Band on the Run, and I mean, again, that's more of, it reminds me of my dad. Me and my dad hanging out.
Or because I can do it now. This one's not on my list, but it's my honorable mention, and you're going to have to rechange it. But even like Say with Michael Jackson, freaking awesome, and it's such like way different. Like it would have fit the '90s or at the 2000s better than it fit when it was, and I think the song would be way more popular if it was done later. The video for it, even like that, is like it's transcending. It's just a cool video. It's poppy. It's bad. I mean, anyways. My number one is John Lennon, Instant Karma, We All Shine On.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's no other song that puts chills through your body, and even the video of that one that I watched is Yoko Ono with, I don't know if she had something done with her eyes in this.
Right.
Face covered, and she's knitting the whole video while he's just getting it. I mean, and he gets it, dude. Like, and some of it he's real mellow, he gets it.
So he was feeling that song.
And there was a bunch of John Lennon. You guys took one of them off there. There was a bunch, but obviously you're right. Last week I said there's probably more Paul McCartney songs I like than John Lennon, and I will rewind that and take it back because like I said, it was hit or miss with him, but he had a lot of hits.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some off of especially that double, like I said, Woman. I love Woman, but there's some. The Plastic Ono Band, I don't know.
There's a couple on there. Yeah,
but I don't, the majority of it, I don't think. I mean, anything, like I said,
he had some phases. That's where I said he had some super misses where you're like, seriously, the same guy that wrote some of these iconic songs wrote this, it's you could go say for a lot of people, but a lot of people just didn't release those songs. No.
After Imagine, you have like a lot of high expectations.
Yes.
But then it's like,
So my honorable mention, because this is a long show we've done a long time, but my honorable mention for George is Isn't It Pity? Which is a freaking great song. And that's kind of his burn song. He has some little burns on all the years in there. And then I had my Ringo honorable mentions, Photograph, which is actually a pretty darn good song.
Yep. That was on the list if it got picked, if my Ringo song got picked, but I didn't put it on my main list just because it was on the Spotify. It was the top 5, and I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, but then Say was my other one. So you guys took my other songs, It Don't Come Easy and Working Class Hero, and I'll agree that was my number one, just so you know. I heard that song in a freaking long time, and that's another one of those, just like Instant Karma, it gives you chills, man, because it's kind of like that's that what's his name, the dude, we did a whole thing about him, but has this super popular song. He's just standing in the field singing the banjo song. God dang it, why can't I think of his name right now? But the whole world related to his song.
The guy with the beard.
Oliver, Anthony Oliver.
Anthony Oliver. That was hit. Working Class Hero is like that Anthony Oliver's version of that, because that's what that song is. A lot of, not getting respect, just a lot of the same thing. We're just
definitely the same vein.
No banjo.
Well, okay, to be fair and to correct you from, just for the internet, that was a resonator guitar.
Okay, sorry.
My bad.
Wasn't a banjo.
No, it looks like a banjo. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was definitely a banjo.
I'm so sorry.
One song that I didn't even know that was by George Harrison. I didn't know who it was by. Was the My Sweet Lord?
Yeah.
Which was his kind of crackdown or his stand on his new religious beliefs, essentially, is what it was. And I always loved that song. And it's one of the songs that I listened to just not really growing up, but as a younger adult, that made me start exploring different religions, and just kind of trying to figure out what was going on around me.
I did have some Ringo Starr facts. He was the narrator for Thomas the Train series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then he did the theme song for the Powerpuff Girls.
Did he?
Yeah, had some sort of part of the theme song of the Powerpuff Girls.
Probably helped write it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I don't think he sung it. I don't mean that, but like I think he played or wrote it, but yeah, that was a connection with him, was Powerpuff Girls and narrator for Thomas the Train. So from the 70s to the 2000s, and that dude probably, and if you want to say most interviews by a Beatle, it was Ringo Starr.
Probably, yeah.
More interviews. I mean, and he was never as famous as Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney had all of the opportunities to do every interview that Ringo Starr did, but there's never an interview that Ringo Starr ever turned down.
Well, I was kind of, like I said, Nirvana. I was seeing something about Dave Grohl was talking about in Nirvana, he was the drummer and his hair was all the way down, so nobody ever recognized him.
Mm-hmm.
And so the pressure and popularity of Nirvana weighed heavily on Kurt's shoulders, and so it wasn't so much burdensome to Grohl. And so he kind of learned and watched and learned what to do and what not to do from Kurt, and he carried that on into the Foo Fighters. And so with the Foo Fighters, it's not as a daunting, as it was, but Nirvana was huge John Lennon fan. There was I'd seen in the studio they were trying to get Nirvana Kurt to do double tracks, do doubles of his vocals, and he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. And finally the engineer was like, "Well, John Lennon did it all the time," and so he was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Yeah,
that'll work.
Yeah. All right. Well, good list, everybody. Good show. Hopefully, we are still broadcasting on Facebook, and I didn't say anything to offend anybody.
Well, you did talk about killing children, and you did talk about, and I did.
Well, he said he didn't.
No, he did, but I mean, he accidentally. When I did say something about showing up in that same child's bedroom if he messed with my car,
yeah,
I didn't know that he shouldn't do that. So I'm just saying,
talking about getting out of the car, chasing them around, and beating up their parents. So we may have said some things that got us off air tonight, but
we have no comments from Facebook, so they're all from YouTube. So it's possible Facebook may be done with our shenanigans. They may have had it with us.
Well, good. I'm done with Facebook. So you know what? That works out fine.
Yeah. The algorithm is.
I'll take TikTok. I think we're still on air. As far as I can tell, we're still on air. We're at least at 52 minutes.
I assume last week was a glitch, and YouTube probably just recovered from the glitch or whatever. And it was probably an internet glitch or something, because I mean, I was in Oklahoma and didn't know it until I got back, and one of our followers was like, "Hey, where's the rest of the podcast?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It was there.
With you, I tuned in for the first probably 10 minutes of the show and had a bunch of stuff going on Saturday, which is another part of the reason why we didn't do this thing on Saturday, and so I did not notice, but I watched it on YouTube. So
yeah, YouTube was fine. I mean, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but we'll figure out something. I had,
like Happy Gilmore says, SHIT happens.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure out something for next week. I had something I was thinking about, but I lost it, and so we'll do that, and then I think we're good for next week, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Right now, I don't have.
Yeah,
we
should be.
Well, again, good list. Thank you guys. And I got to go work tonight, film Kevin. I don't know what he's going to be doing. He just said, bring the camera. So
I got to go drop off paperwork for my daughter's car that I just helped. Well, I didn't really help her. She did it all herself, but we helped sign some insurance stuff, and we got to go drop off the title of the car that we traded in for her. So
yeah.
I got to do house stuff, and then I'm going to go see the Nest Records production at Barleycorns, I do believe.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Your guys' stuff sounds better than mine.
Check out Sontia Soul on Facebook and YouTube, and check out Middle of the Road podcast on all the glorious platforms, and Room Green Productions on YouTube and Facebook. We'll do that, and yeah, have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Later.
And we all shut